Hi, my name is Jill Sands. I'm artist and owner of the Heartbox Gallery here in downtown Flagstaff, Arizona. I want to take a minute to welcome you all and invite you into this beautiful show that's opening tonight. It's called the HereAfter, and it's with Eric Retterbush of Flagstaff, Arizona, and Allison of Santa Cruz, California. We combined two photographers, two different styles, but they both align all on the subject matter of life, death, and who we are as humans in this experience. So the show is made up of wet plate tintype photography. You'll see the originals. And if you've not seen this type of photography before, it's a real treat. They'll take you to another time. And then Heather's work is a still life, somewhat reminiscent of the Renaissance era, vanitas. They're incredible, and they showcase taxidermy, botanicals, candlelight. So really invite you to take the time to look at each one of these pieces. You can come into the gallery Wednesday through Saturday, 1 to 6 p.m. You're also able to view them online at theheartbox.space. And certainly I'm available at any point for any of your questions, but they really are unique, one of a kind. Each one is in a frame, vintage frames. Heather uses a lot of the old convex, really hard to find frames that really take you to a different time. So thank you for tuning in. Please support local artists, local galleries, businesses, and really just take this time to honor and celebrate everything we have in this moment. So thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Flagstaff and hello world.
So you want to tell us about creating this collection, kind of what it means to you to put all these pieces together?
Yeah, for sure. It was a couple months ago we started thinking about this project and thinking about the fall season and kind of entering into that winter and entering into like the Dia de los Muertos holidays, Halloween, some of these holidays that do deal with death and dying at this time of the year. As we've all lost our gardens and the trees have come down, but it's all this one big cycle. So the pieces that are in this show, it's called HereAfter is the show, and so it kind of touches on both those things, both the here, which is more the flesh, the living, and the after, which is more the passing on, and ways of dealing with mourning and that cycle that kind of revolves around. And so my particular contribution was 7 tintypes, and I do tintype portraits, and didn't stray too far with these images because they are all portraits. It was really wonderful to kind of tackle it a different way rather than just making people look nice, but having a little bit more of a narrative behind it as well. And so I was really excited to have that conversation with the models a lot of times, and we work together. It's a very, creating a tintype is a very special kind of slow process that really invites a lot of kind of creative collaboration to make it happen, both between the photographer trying to get the technique and the look down, the lighting, as well as the model that ends up doing a lot of what the end result looks like. Just those little tweaks of the face and where the hand is and everything. It's kind of this cool collaboration. So yeah, what do we want to talk about?
Yeah, so do you want to go more into like one of the pieces, maybe the story behind it, and just
Sure.
tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, so I can invite you into one here. And this is a lady named Jihan, and it's a lovely tintype. And she came in, and I had a few ideas of kind of what I was looking for, but I also, it is that collaboration, so I wanted her to be a part of that as well. And she has a little bit of art background as well. She's a painter and has done quite a few art projects and works in the nonprofit sector as well. And we talked about what her view is and how she wants to be portrayed, as you kind of address death, address, maybe your own mortality. And one thing that we kind of got stuck on was this idea of it's almost like this hole inside of you. And she actually had a surgery that removed a piece of her that she felt like she had that void within her. And so that's what's actually the title of the piece is A Void Within. And so where you saw a lot of the other ones where I had like more of a halo effect, I wanted to reverse that with hers and create this almost this black hole, this kind of darkness that is kind of something that she feels, but at the same time she's kind of stepping out of it and stepping into, embracing, I guess, her own mortality with it. So it's a beautiful tintype. I usually take a couple of them just to get it right, and I always gift my models with one of the other ones. So I have 2 really, really nice ones, and one with her, and one's up on the wall, and hopefully end up in a cool home someplace.
Do you want to tell a story about another one? Because that was really beautiful.
Oh gosh. Okay, well I'll switch it a little bit maybe. I guess let's go to this one right here. So this is my friend Lauren, and she just recently had a newborn, and so when talking about this cycle of life and death, of course I really wanted to approach it from both the sides of our own life, and so starting with the birth and ending with some older folks as well in the show. But so this is a 3-week-old. This is actually her first outing into the world, or one of the first outings into the world besides the doctor's office. And I was lucky to get a couple of shots off with her, and I chose the halo in this one, and again a lot of that's just about how sacred life is, and I think I grew up Catholic, as well as kind of the background of my art. I do a lot of more Art Nouveau, so it's like Muka and some of these other folks that did have a lot of these plays with kind of this circle behind. So the sacredness of it, of life, I kind of did the halo effect. And I used kind of like a more feminine halo on that one. And so the kind of the fun fact about this little image is that right there at that moment there was actually liquid poop coming out off of her elbow and into her lap and right during the shot. So it's kind of a fun little tidbit on the.
A little behind the
All
scenes.
the behind the scenes of how hard it is sometimes to get into type, especially with a 3-week-old.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a really special one. Again, I think that's one that I was able to give a nice one to Lauren that I think she's gonna just absolutely cherish for the rest of their lives. So it's a really cool process. It's the archivability of these things are hundreds of years, so it's more like heirloom than anything else. Yeah, that's two of them.
Cool. So for people who don't know what Tintype is there a easy way to describe that?
Yeah, it is a longer explanation. I think we've gotten so far away from how we make things. With digital, where right now, it's being streamed into your hand or onto your computer in your house and everything, and we don't think about the process of how images are made, and all the settings and stuff that we created with our cell phones are, kind of help us, and we don't have to think about how light kind of affects everything. So I've taken this way back to 1851 is the process that I'm using, and it's called the wet plate collodion process. And you can make a variety of things. You can make amber type or tintype is the one I make, or even making a figliotype, which is actually a digital kind of component all kind of thrown into it as well. So there's lots of different ways but it's a very hands-on kind of way of making a photograph, essentially. So the ending image is pure silver on a blackened aluminum plate, and each shot takes about 12 minutes to make or so. You do have to kind of range between shots and stuff, so it's just really slow. It's not uncommon to spend your whole afternoon and you only get 5 or 6 shots, and that's why these are so special as well, because there was a couple of shots to get to this point. It's all about the lighting, it's all about making sure your chemicals are in the right place, and it's a very very tedious process that takes a long time to learn, and to execute well is really difficult, even for the masters. They still slip up. This process is just kind of funny like that, but that's the surprise that you can get, because me as a photographer, I'm never going to know exactly what the end product's going to look like until it hits that bath and reveals itself, and that's kind of exciting. It's kind of like magic to me, and keeps it really interesting. Yeah, that's a Tintype.
Great, thanks, Eric.
Yeah.